XRP holders, did Donald Trump's decision rescue XRP in the crypto sector and the Bitcoin stock market? Significant news was released a few hours ago concerning the tariff situation, and as you can observe, there's a lot of green in the market right now. The crypto market, which is the only market trading over the weekend, reacted positively to this. There is also a weakened stock market, but not much activity there. The market is responding favorably, and I'll explain why this is occurring and why it appreciates what it's witnessing. Before we dive in, I had P makers, from China, who were persuading him to take actions he previously disagreed with. I initially thought that was the meaning, but it seemed like some people interpreted it as him conceding or losing. That's how the comments were reacting. He didn't concede. This was part of his strategy. I found this definition in the Cambridge Dictionary. Maybe you all have a different understanding, and I apologize for any confusion. Some viewers expressed anger, saying they wouldn't watch anymore, and I was like, okay. For those still viewing, I wanted to clarify my initial thoughts. I mentioned that his advisors might have suggested, hey, or possibly the chip makers, computer makers, or smartphone makers approached him and asked, could we get exempted? What? I'll explain that in a moment, and Trump was open to it, saying, all right, let's proceed. Now, others previously made a video and stated in the title, and I think I mentioned it, that Trump caved in, which upset many people. I want to clarify what I meant. English is my second language. I thought caving in was appropriate because I was trying to articulate what he did. The term refers to agreeing to something you had initially opposed after being persuaded. So, we reported that Trump chose to grant exemptions for smartphones, computers, and chips. Individuals might argue it's related to the bond market. We'll address that shortly. However, XRP really reacted positively to this news, showing a rise of 6.12% since the announcement. You can observe that after the news broke, there was a nice upward movement followed by a slight sell-off. I already noticed comments stating, oh, it's selling off, but it's recovering right now. Additionally, Bitcoin is once again over $85,000, and Ethereum has reached $1,648, up another 5%. Other cryptocurrencies are also moving, with some seeing gains of 16 to 17% today. The market is experiencing some encouraging movements, and we'll see if this trend extends through the weekend. It was amusing because on one side, some were saying, Avi, you're too pro-Trump, while others claimed, you hate Trump, implying I must be balanced. This suggests that both sides perceive me as fair. He also mentioned that the exemption will be retroactively effective from April 5th, meaning everything since then has been accumulated since April 5th. The excluded shifts will be reimbursed, presenting an intriguing scenario. Notably, smartphones and computers rank as China's top exports to the United States, where consumer electronics account for 22%, home appliances, and textiles collectively make up 17%, while optical and medical instruments, along with wood products and paper, also contribute 17%. This indicates that consumer electronics represent the largest segment. Furthermore, excluding semiconductors, which account for 4%, the total is approximately 25% of overall imports. Since President Trump's announcement of a favorable time to purchase and the 90-day pause on reciprocal tariffs, the Federal Reserve expressed readiness to stabilize the market if necessary. An exemption for reciprocal tariffs on smartphone and computer chips was revealed, prompting Trump to encourage China to initiate a negotiation call. Consequently,